Howdy, howdy. Howdy, howdy, people. How we doing? We are here for, not sure what camera is running, so let's make sure we adjust that. I don't want that one. I want a different camera. That should make a move. There we go. It looks about the same. The other one's a little bit. There we go. Feels like I'm off base now, like I'm off balance. Like we needed to move. There we go. Feels a little more centered that way. Hey, everybody. How we doing? We are here for live at 7. It's usually live at 5, but it's live at 7. Hello, Royal Diadem. I'm so sorry to be later today. I was off playing football grandma today. I was off being football grandma today because my grandson, they made it to the championship game. And I was, it's like, Grandma, you got to come. Well, so we've been out there all day in the heat. My grandson played on a team. And then my daughter is the team mom for another team. And they played a couple hours later. Hey, everybody. And so we basically couldn't leave because it was like, you got to stay for the other game, Mom. I was like, well, I really was trying to leave and get out of this sun. We were at the Jaguar Stadium. Not sure if anybody here has ever been at the Jaguar Stadium, but that's where we were. The Jaguars are playing away today. So we were at the Jaguars Stadium in the heat because there's no cover at the Jaguar Stadium. It's just hot. And so at first we were sitting where the sun was kind of coming. It's like, oh, not so bad. Sun goes up, up, up. And it's like, oh, goodness, it's getting hotter and hotter. It's getting hotter in here. And it got hotter and hotter and hotter. So there was that. And we decided that we would stay and continue to work the heat. So that's how that went, basically. That's been my day today. But so I missed the 5 o'clock, but I said I still needed to go live because we still got stuff we need to talk about. And I didn't want to not be here to talk about what needs to be talked about because it needs to be talked about, right? It needs to be talked about. Talk about it. Talk about it. I shouldn't sing too much because I have realized that, every little clip, I guess you get a little bit of time to do a clip. And when you do the little clips, they will send out that copyright claim if you don't give credit. And I just toss out songs along the way. So sometimes there's no credit. All right. So we do have some interesting stuff that has happened in the past week. And hopefully we got some good stuff that's going to happen this coming week. And we're going to see about making us some monties this week. Oh, by the way, the Educator to Trader community made some money last week. Did a really, really good job. I think if you follow me on Facebook, you can see that the Educator to Trader crew made a little over $2,000 as a unit, trading primarily the SPX strategy that we talk about. I always mention in my post or in the comments of my post that you can get this full strategy. This full strategy can be gotten. That it won't let me put any more. Yeah, there it goes. This full strategy is available, and you can see the whole thing. $27, basically. That's unreal, but I want people to have it. That's really the point. I want you to have it. So that's why it's $27. Okay. And if you don't know about credit spreads, there's a little extra boost there that you can get about credit spreads and grab hold. spxplaybook.net. Okay. Let's go on and talk about what we're going to talk about for the week. Let's first look at what did we have going for last week? What did last week look like? Everybody who's here, welcome. If you've got questions or comments, please be sure to put them in the comments section. I'll look at them and respond accordingly. Okay. Respond accordingly. Okay, so we're looking at the SPX chart for last week and previous weeks. This is a daily chart, by the way. All of these candles are 1 day worth of data. So I kind of was expecting, I think we talked about this last week on the call as the price came in, because this was last Friday, right? Last Friday. So over the weekend, we talked after this candle had done its thing, this big one, this here. Y'all can see my mouse. Yeah. So then I talked about, I think I put a little link here and said it's probably going to hit this 200 period. That's what this is, the 200 period moving average. I said it would probably hit the 200 period moving average, do a little bit of a bounce. It did, and then go on down to more. I actually thought it would do a little more upward bouncing, but we are in the middle of a bearish thing. We're in a bearish situation, right? It's bearish in these streets, and the entire market is feeling the brunt of that. There's a lot happening in the world right now. We've got wars and rumors of wars are going on. We just came out of the UAW strike, where I think they've reached a tentative agreement for the UAW workers, the United Auto Workers, to go back to work. We're also in the middle of earnings season. Oh la la, if there wasn't enough, right? And Microsoft and Google did their earnings last week. One of them beat earnings and the price still went down, and the other one missed on earnings and the price went up. I might have these backwards, and then after that, the price came back down some more. So they both ended up coming down last week. And because Google and Microsoft are big pieces of the S&P 500, have a good percentage, then the market came on down some more. Notice you see here, we're underneath the 200 period moving average now. And that's where we are with that. Let's do a little quick charting here just to see what kind of stuff we can look at going forward, or what kind of support and resistance. If we look here, I will probably put some resistance here. Remember, moving averages do act as resistance lines. Moving averages act as support and resistance. Okay, no, I don't want you. I want a regular old horizontal line. I'm using TradingView, by the way. If you're a TradingView fan, TradingView is a free thing that you can use. I believe there's a link in the description below here, but you can go to tradingview.com and chart for free. You can, if you want more stuff, though, you got to pay a little extra if you want more stuff. But if you just want the basics, you can chart on TradingView for free. So the resistance I see at 42.47, this is up. There's a gap here that needs to be discussed. Gaps also play some resistance and support. Gaps like to be filled. There's the 41.75 to 41.86 is a gap for resistance. If we're looking at support, there's some support down in the same zone where we actually are right now. If we look back into the May zone and the May time frame, then there's some support here, which we've just kind of hit that on Friday at 41.09. There is some support, and we closed on Friday at 41.17. So that's what's going on with that, right? If we look overall at our trending, like we do a trend line, here we put a little trend line on it. Let's say we start up here. Move out of the way. Nope, I didn't want that. No, I didn't want you. All right, so let's try again, because that thing was in the way. I'm going to put a trend line starting. Oh, yeah. This little thingy here is in the way. There we go. Starting our trend, you pick a dot, basically pick a spot where there's a point, and then you want two lines on a trend line. I'm going to go through these here. That lets us know we're in a downward cycle. And if you want to extend this, you honestly could grab this and extend it even up to the peak there. Now that would have, this kind of moves us out a bit. If you want to hit these, so many trend lines can be drawn. You can draw a trend line from here to here. Trend line can hit here. You can bring the trend line and hit it here. Honestly, all of these trend lines would be accurate. This is what I'm talking about when you're doing trend lines. All of these would be accurate. Because we're now looking at this lower part. You can start at another place and go down. Trend lines, are just that. And then let's see if there's one on the bottom there. We got lower highs and we've got lower lows. So we really have like a channel going down that's going on with SPX right now. And I'm not trying to get too deep into charting. I do have a resource that's coming real soon talking about charting where you can go a whole lot deeper. I just want to say this. If you're not charting, you need to be, because everything is based on what's happening in this chart. Alrighty. So that's what went on. We're actually hitting, it looks like we're hitting the bottom of this trend line here. So there may be a little bit of a bounce off of this, support, because the trend lines also provide support and resistance. Maybe a little bit of bounce off of here, depending on how things go. So let's look at what kind of stuff we got coming up for this week. What kind of stuff we got coming up for this week? Well, earnings. Oh my goodness. The primary thing we have coming up this week is earnings. Ah la la. I'm not sure if y'all can see the earnings thing behind me. Not that there's a lot happening over in that corner, but I don't want you to miss anything just because my picture is in the way. Let me see if I can bring this back. So there we go. Then I won't be able to see. Okay, so earnings on Monday, we've got SoFi. I was going to sing my song, but I won't, because these, copyright streets. But just know I'm a fan of SoFi. McDonald's, On Semi, Western Digital, HSBC, which is a bank. They must have waited a while, because all the banks did 2 weeks ago. Air Canada, Checkpoint, XPO Logistics. Those are all Jinko Solar. Those are all Monday before the market opens. Arista, Pinterest, Transocean, VF Corporation, Lattice, Wolfspeed, Public Storage. Those are all Monday after the market closes. Tuesday, we got Pfizer. Pfizer's one that's, I want to say, anticipated, expecting them. Pfizer, Caterpillar, JetBlue, Amgen, which is pharmaceuticals, Eaton, BP, got some Marathon Gas, AB InBev. Then you've got AMD on Tuesday. We don't really talk a lot about AMD because usually you hear people talking about NVIDIA. But AMD, right in that same space, right? That's right in that same space. They're quiet, a little quiet. They're not as up for the, up into the, everybody talking about them. But that doesn't mean we need to sleep on AMD. All right. AMD and NVIDIA kind of move together. So keep that in mind. Those AMD, Taiwan Semiconductors, all of those are all in that same semiconductor space. So you want to keep yourself in mind with that. First Solar, Caesars, Paycom, Lumen, Green Brick, Match Group. Okay. Norwegian Cruise Line, CVS is on Wednesday before the market opens. Wayfair. Anybody shopping at Wayfair? There's a Wayfair warehouse around not too far from where I live. Generac, Kraft Heinz, the food, consumer staples. Estee Lauder is here. Builders First Source, I think that's a bank. SunPower is, there seems to be a lot of solar happening this week. I think I've mentioned three or four solar things already. Wednesday after the market closes, PayPal. Good old PayPal. They're yet holding on. PayPal is yet holding on. It's when they go through it. It's when they're just going through it, trying to hold on to their market share in this space. But they've got competitors popping up like the Squares and the Cash Apps trying to come in and get their market share. Roku is here. Solar Edge again. Airbnb, Etsy, Mercado Libre. Elf, with I think it's makeup people. Thursday morning, we've got Palantir. Palantir is a big boy. I mean, they're a big boy. Their price doesn't show that they're a big boy, but I want you to know that Palantir is somebody, again, another one not to sleep on, because Palantir is holding all the government secrets. They holding the government. The government secrets are being held by Palantir. Palantir keeps winning these really large contracts from the government, and they're doing a lot of things with the WAR. So their stock price might not look like it, but, keep your eyes open. Shopify, Lilly, Moderna. We used to talk about Moderna all the time. I hadn't really mentioned them in a while. Crocs is here. Cigna, Conoco, Phillips. On Thursday, of course, people are still waiting for Apple to come on Thursday after close. Apple block. I want to say this is like Coinbase's block. Isn't that the same thing? You've got that. But Apple, highly anticipated. DraftKings, for people who are gambling, football. Carvana's in the car space, and Starbucks is here. Oh, Coinbase is here. So who's Block? Is Block Square then? I think Block must be Square if Coinbase is here, but somehow Maybe somebody in the comments can say whether block is square. Coinbase is here, so it's block is definitely not Coinbase because Coinbase is down here. Cloudflare, and then on Friday before the market opens, you've got Fubo, Enbridge, CBOE, Cinemark, the movie theaters. All we ever hear about is AMC. We don't hear about Cinemark very much, and Cardinal Health. All right. That's all the earnings that are coming this week. But listen, and this is not all of them. Take that back. I'm not saying this is all the earnings. This is the earnings that are put on this sheet. Thank you for EPS Whispers. We sure appreciate your graphic that you put out every single week. That you can find them on Instagram if you just want to see the graphic. But a lot of people have earnings this week. EPS Whispers does a great job of putting on like most anticipated and kind of the ones that would catch people's attention. But this is nowhere near the full extent of the list of options and earnings this week. Not at all. Okay, not at all. Let's look at what kind of meetings we have coming up, because these meetings things is what moves the markets as well. I don't know necessarily if all the meetings move the market, or because I won't say I'm a conspiracy theorist per se, because I'm really not, but I do think a lot of things, I think some things, I won't say a lot, I think some things in the market are manipulated, that they move things around, that the algorithm can see that a lot of people have puts in so that they run the market up in order to stop out a lot of those people, and then it goes back down some more. Or a lot of people got calls in, so the market goes down enough to stop those people out so that their calls will go up. I kind of feel some of that happens. Or when the market knows, like, Jerome Powell is going to speak, and that's potentially going to be bad news. So the market before that will run up real nice, and just so it can prop itself up. So when it drops for him, it's got a lot of stuff happening there. So that's my thought. It's just my thought. It's just, nothing that I won't say it's not confirmed, but that's just my thought. My opinion, and I get to share my opinion. Yes, that's what it is. Nothing to take to the bank. It's just my opinion. Okay, let's look here at what's happening this week. October 30th is going to be on Monday. Nothing is scheduled on Monday for anything for the Forex Factory, where we go and get our calendar. We're one of the places where we look for our calendar. We also look at investing.com. We've got on Tuesday, though, some red folders. Actually, we have a red folder every day this week. Red folders are the ones that are high volatility. Employment cost index quarter over quarter is 8:30 in the morning on Tuesday. HPI, I believe, is housing prices. PMI is there at 9:45. CB consumer confidence is at 10 o'clock. This is where they really look to see, how confident are the consumers in buying and doing how are they confidently spending their money? How are they spending their money? Right. That's what this 10 o'clock meeting is all about on Tuesday. Wednesday, November the 1st, we got the first day of November. Can y'all believe it is November already? This year is almost over. We literally have 62, 63 days before something like that, before the year is up. So listen, whatever you had on your 2023 list, take a look at it. I was looking at my things that I had, written down that I was going to do for this year. And I think I might have had 6 things, and I've accomplished 3 of the 6. So I was like, ooh, I got 60 days. Now, some of those were stretch things. They were stretch. And 1 or 2 of them, I decided it was something I wanted to do at the beginning of the year, and decided I wasn't going to do that. But I was like, okay, I still got a little bit of time, and I need to make sure I can at least cross off 1 or 2 more things off this intentions, the I intend list. I didn't do goals, I said they weren't goals. I didn't do I guess they were New Year's resolutions. I stopped doing those a while back because I was end up writing the same stuff every year. Every year I talk about the weight I'm going to lose and then don't lose any or gain some. So I'm like, okay, we're not putting that on here anymore. So, I did have some intentions. The I intend to blanks, I had about 5 or 6 of those. So I revisited them the other day and updated them so that they be ready. But I don't think we should wait till like the beginning of the year. Well, let's check out, I was thinking about this today, like the things I want to set for business goals for next year, the things I'd like to accomplish, of the services I want to be able to provide to the world. But I'm thinking about those things now. I hope y'all are too. I'm thinking about those things. I'm not waiting until January 1st. I'm starting in. If one of my friends made a post. If you decide you want to lose weight, don't wait till January 1st. Start now. I was like, yeah. I scroll right up. She's not talking to me. You're not talking to me. Okay, so on Wednesday we do have employment change, non-farm employment, which is 8:15 in the morning. ISM manufacturing PMI is at 10. JOLTS job openings, those are both red folders. And then we've got manufacturing prices is here. Crude oil inventory shows up on Wednesdays every week. FOMC statement and a press conference is on Wednesday afternoon. This is always, even though all these things say red, this red FOMC press conference is like red for real. This is where the volatility really happens. Anytime that FOMC says something, it's like E.F. Hutton. We all got to listen. So Thursday, we got unemployment claims first thing in the morning at 8:30. A couple yellow folders after that, but the market will most likely respond on Thursday to what is said on Wednesday. That's what you got to remember. That there's usually like a quick pop or something whenever something is said right then that same day, but then the next day is when the market really absorbs and responds to what was said the previous day. And then on Friday, we do have FOMC member Barr is speaking at 8:00 in the morning. Non-farm employment, unemployment rate, all those things are there. And the final services PMI and ISM services PMI, right? These are things that are happening this coming week. These kinds of red folders are things, though, that you should look at. Now, I want to say here that one of the things we do in the membership every morning is we have us a morning call. And on that morning call, we do, talk about what the market did the previous day, talk about the meetings that are coming up for that day. And I think this time is useful, right? Because it reminds us, I'm telling you all about it today. And anybody, of course, can go to forexfactory.com and look for yourself each morning. But I'm telling you, many times, if I wasn't on the call, I wouldn't necessarily go look at some of this stuff. And then I'm thinking, well, you get to 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock and the price starts going nuts. And you're like, what just happened? And then I go look at Forex Factory like, oh, I completely forgot about the fact that, the FOMC was making an announcement at 2 o'clock and you're in a trade in the morning that you're expecting to go all day, only to find out that it's getting, jacked up because of an announcement that happened in the middle of the day. So you either want to do one or two things. You can either join in with this membership, right? Or you can remember to go do it yourself. I'm going to do Educator2Trader. This is my website, ite.app. Yeah, you can go to Educator2Trader.com. I had to type it all out because Facebook been tripping about my website link. Anyway, the web address is fine, but I have to write it all the way out because anyway, I'm not even going into that so I'm just typing it out, and that's where all my stuff is basically. Let's just go with that. All of my stuff, all of our products and resources and access to all of the things I have are there. If you're a newbie to options, I created a resource for you. If you're an options beginner or somebody who really wants to learn options and you don't really know where to start, then get the Options for Beginners Quick Start Guide. It's just a guide. It's 7 steps, I want to say, that you go through where you get yourself started on trading options, right? It's just you trade your email out for the Quick Start Guide, and it's a free resource, obviously. But what I have lots of people who come into our ecosystem and they're following what we're doing. And I, coach and train people who are newbies and beginners and those who really want to get into this game but don't know where to start. So because I had so many people who were asking about that, I created a resource for you to have. That way you can get yourself on the right path. It includes, where should you go for this? What are you looking for in that? What videos can you watch to go to understand this or understand that? Okay, so it's all the stuff is in there. Go ahead and grab you a copy. go ahead and grab you a copy at options-quickstart.com. Okay, go ahead and grab you a copy of that. So let's see. What could be some potential trade ideas for us this week? Let me see what I got here. We talked about our earnings already. Now, I want to share this with you. I put the 29th there. Today is the 29th. That was crazy. All right. So, got a couple ideas. Now, the market has been down for the last, week or so. You see, we've got a trend. We're trending down, right? So, I still came up with, I go through a process of using bar chart. I use bar chart. I have a process what we go through where we check on bar chart. We look at if the analysts feel like there's a buy rating or something like that to make sure things are going to stay, a little bit above our strikes. That's what I go and find those. Got a few trade. This is not trading advice. This is not investment advice. Not investment advice. I'm just saying that there's a few, maybe trade ideas. Okay, trade ideas. A couple cash secure puts. Actually, I mentioned Palantir is having earnings this week. So Palantir probably wouldn't be one of doing the cash secure puts, but Groupon is not. I don't think, because as sellers, we have to be mindful of what we call binary events, which is an event where there could be high volatility. And earnings is a time where things can be very volatile because you don't know whether price is going to run up, whether price is going to run down based on earnings, because it's a crapshoot. You just don't ever know. So I should leave. You can draw you a line across Palantir because Palantir I just mentioned that Palantir is having earnings, and I don't want anybody jumping in on a cash secure puts trade when Palantir has earnings, unless you're going to enter the trade before Palantir has earnings and you're going to close it. If you're going to do a cash secure put on Palantir and you're going to close it before they announce their earnings, or you're going to wait till after they have earnings and then enter the trade. I don't want you to have that trade going while earnings is being announced. So either enter it. Actually, Monday and Tuesday is a good day to enter cash secure puts anyway, but enter it with the plan of exiting it before Palantir has earnings. I want to say Palantir has earnings on Thursday. Didn't we say Thursday? I don't know where I put that. I think we said Thursday, Palantir. Groupon, cash secure puts, a covered call. You've got finger. And then you've got cap call credit spreads, which basically means you're doing almost like a covered call. Amazon and AMC. Amazon had earnings last week. So a call credit spread with Amazon. AMC, I gave you some strikes here. Maybe look out further expirations. And put credit spreads. Again, I have Palantir here, but be careful with that because Palantir is in both these put related places and they've got earnings this week. So again, if you're going to do put credit spreads and you plan on opening Palantir and closing it before earnings, then okay. If you're not going to close it before earnings, then wait till after they report. Okay, y'all hear me about Palantir? We don't really trade things for the week as a seller that's going to have earnings, because you just need to be mindful that extra volatility that is put in there can throw a good trade off. And that's not what we're trying to do at all. If you don't know about doing the wheel strategy, if you don't know what the wheel strategy is, basically it starts with selling cash secure puts. And then if you get assigned to you, go to covered calls, then you can check out the wheel strategy. Or you can check it out on my YouTube channel, right? And speaking of YouTube, make sure that you join. Make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hang out with me and then subscribe to the channel. We're growing over here. My whole objective is to help people understand how do we get money out the market. That's my whole and entire objective, is to help us get money out of the market as a seller. I'm a seller's coach. I coach option sellers, which includes cash secure puts. This includes covered calls. This includes call credit spreads and put credit spreads, and we do some shorting. But all of the seller related strategies, those are the things that I do. All righty? Those are the things that I do. I coach sellers. A lot of people coach buyers, buying options and such. I coach sellers. Okay. I had one more thing I wanted to share with you. I've been talking almost every week about doing like a automated trading. Let me share my screen again. About doing automated trading. And I've mentioned the company Peakbot. 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 Use peakbot.com is the website. Let me grab it and put it into the chat. So that way, if you want to take a look. What I like about Peakbot is that it gives you the opportunity. Yep, it's sharing the right screen. Very good. It gives you the opportunity to trade some stuff automated, right? You can automatically, it's automated trading. I'm on the wrong screen trying to scroll. And that's why it's not moving. Automated setup. So they have, we've changed the look of this website. Look at there. They have 4 bots that are running right now, 4 bots. So it's automated trading. So I'm going to say one thing here. Some people they sound like they're a little, hesitant or leery about doing automated trading. But I want to say something to you. If you have a 401k and you're not managing it 100% of yourself, you are doing automated trading. Okay? In all seriousness. If you have an IRA and you don't manage all the stuff that's in it, you're doing automated trading. Somebody else is doing it for you, right? And you don't get to pick anything. You can tell them you want aggressive or not aggressive. That's kind of the most pick. And some 401ks are now allowing people to do some of their own trading, but just know you're not doing your own. You're doing you're already automated trading. With this, you do get to pick which bots you like. So the good thing is the bots here. Use Peakbot has 4 bots. It has the wheel strategy as a bot. It has iron condors as an automated trading setup. Is iron condors on SPY and Triple Q. It also has a bot that is for trading shares. So it'll buy shares for you when the shares do a pop. It'll buy those shares for you and then close them when it's a good spot to close them. Usually for a profit. Of course, anything else. It also has a stop loss in place, so your money just doesn't fly out the window while you're not looking. And it also has a bot for gaps. So let's look at the watch list. This watch list here is available for anybody to go look at on any given week. You can go look at the watch list. Now notice this is the wheel watch list, and it's got a lot of yellow. All these yellow things mean that these are reporting earnings this week. Even though they're calling this the wheel bot, it is a put credit spread bot. It's designed to sell cash secure puts. And then they're putting on a security leg underneath it as for your basically for your protection. They're buying an options leg also. So that way you're protected a little bit on the backside when you're selling a put, right? This is the bot watch list. Iron Condor is for SPY and Triple Q. Now, I will have to honestly say, I use the SPY and Triple Q bot, but I also designed a strategy back 2+ years ago, to do similar what they're doing with this. Ours was not automated. We had to enter the trades on our own. And we did a 1 DTE. But the 1 DTE is in this volatile environment that we're in right now. This strategy doesn't hold up well for all this volatility. So I wouldn't want anybody with the VIX up above 20, the VIX up above 18. I wouldn't want you to try to do a 1 DTE on SPY and Triple Q in that environment. So I wouldn't recommend that you utilize the Iron Condor bot with the volatility this high. We need the VIX to be down in the 13s, 14s, 15 max if you're going to use that one. I'm just being honest with you because I'm not trying to Peakbot does. I am in a partnership with them. So I do talk about them because I like what they're doing. This is one of the first bots I've seen or automated trading that's for sellers. Other people have them, but they're not for seller strategies. So I'm all for that. But I tell them and tell y'all that I'm going to give a fair assessment. If it's working, good. And if it's not working, I'm going to say this part right here, This right here not working. This part right here not working. and I've shared that with the co-founders. Like, this part right here, no, sir. This part that's not working. Okay, so that was the iron condors. The momentum is the one where you can put in shares. And the good thing about the momentum, even though they have a watch list here, you actually can pick your own shares that you wanted to buy. If you wanted to operate with some stocks that are not on this list, when you go into the momentum bot, you tell the bot what you want, and you tell it how much money you want to spend on shares, and the bot is going to enter those trades when the opportunities are prime. It will enter those opportunities for you based on how much money you say. So, for example, if I'm saying I want to trade SOXL, and I want to trade $100 worth of SOXL. Well, XOXL maybe it's $12 or $14 right now. I'm not even sure what the price is, but it's going to buy up to $100 worth of shares, right? It ties right into Thinkorswim, and it's going to buy the amount of shares that I've decided is the amount of money to spend on it. To put on that. If I say I want to do shares of Google and I only say $150, then it's going to buy me one share. It's only going to buy you one share. It's going to buy you whatever amount of money you have that can get you a whole number of shares. So if I picked Google and I said I only wanted to do $100, then it's never going to enter Google, because Google is worth, one share of Google is more than $100. So it's never going to enter. It's never going to enter there. All right. Alrighty, so I've covered earnings. I have covered the meetings for the week. I've covered some potential trade ideas. I've talked about S&P and what could possibly go on with SPX, right, for this coming week. I feel like I wanted to look at one more thing. I forgot what it was. Okay, so I gave us some support and resistance for these numbers. Again, talking about we are now below this 200 period moving average, which means now the resistance is now at this 200 period moving average, but we've come into a support area from back in May. All righty, we've come back into there from back in May. So the potential for us to make a little bit of a pop is here. And again, we're in an overall bear market. So I wouldn't anticipate that it's going to maybe huge. It might be, because the market does what it wants to do. Oh, thank you, Miss Deborah. The market does what it wants to do. So it very well could decide it's going to go ahead and go and run to the moon. It just might do that. Wait, sorry, I didn't share my screen. Hey, what's that all about? Y'all see it blinking like that? It's not supposed to do that. What is it doing? What's the word? Not the plan. Let's try again if we can present for that screen. La, la, la. Did y'all see it blinking like that? Okay, let's try again. There we go. Ooh, the technology. It is time. I think I'm going to, I don't want to though, invest in me a computer that is going to solely be ready for going live and for editing videos and such, because my HP is working overtime. It's working really hard. If y'all got some ideas on what's a good cost-effective computer, y'all tell me. Y'all tell me what's a good one. What's a good one? All righty. So looking here, I was talking about this support and resistance lines before, Miss Deborah helped me to know that I wasn't sharing my screen. We've come into the support of this bottom trend line. There may be a pop that goes up here. I don't know if it'll go all the way up to this other line. We do see it's staying in between here. So it very well could. The market does what it wills. All we do is we hang out and we hold on. But we trade every day. We trade what we see every single day. We do 0 DTE strategies on SPX and XSP. We get in at some time during the day, look for proper zones where we think price is not going to come. And we've got people, I told y'all, we posted our wins last week. Last week, we made over $2,200 as a unit. And it's on average. And average, we got about 8 to 10 people. 8 to 10 people. So that's about an average of what, 8 people, $300 a piece. We had I think it was 2442 was actually the amount. So that's about an average of $300 per person for the week. Do you think you could have utilized $300 extra last week? Could you use $300 extra this week? Hello, we coming into the holidays. People get ready to travel. People are already making travel plans. And you know, when you travel, you always spend more money when you're traveling. You always spend more. So you got to pull in more money if you're going to spend more money between the holidays and Christmas and all of that. So, you know, if you're not one who's already utilizing that strategy, you really might want to consider grab hold of this SPX playbook if you don't already have it. And if you do already have the playbook, but you're not able, if you need a little bit more that goes with that playbook, we do have, you know, the next level to that strategy, which includes making profits multiple times during the day. Right? It includes making those profits multiple times during the day, which so you can say what time of the day really suits my life. Some people trade in the morning. Some folks trade better at the noontime, and some people trade in the afternoon because it fits their life, right? And you need to know what strategies and which things are going to be the best for that time of the day that fits your life and allows you to make the profits that you want. All right. The strategy is mentioned, or the course or training is mentioned right there in this little ticker runner thing. It's being mentioned there. Okay. Don't forget, please subscribe to the channel. Hang out with us. I do try to come live every Sunday to talk about what is coming up for the week for us. What kind of things are we going to do? What kind of things the market is going to have going? We got our membership calls in the morning. If that's something that you'd like to have and be with a community of people, then check into that. Okay. Oh my goodness, the people who are in the membership and in the community, I would not trade them in for the world. It's a very supportive group. All right. If you need anything from me, please feel free to reach out for me. You can find me at Arlissa at Educator2Trader.com. You can find me there. Send me an email. And if you're not on my email list, you should be on my email list. Grab one of these resources that we have. There's several different things that are free. If you want to get ready, you want to start doing zero DTE stuff, and you want to see how do I really get better with doing zero DTE strategies, you can grab that cheat code, the 0DTEcheatcode.com. Go ahead and grab that. Okay. And then let me replay that out. 7 mistakes that traders make that are keeping them from making 7 figures. Ugh. You don't even start that, because I know if I was to ask some questions, how many of us are profitable like we want to be? How many of us are making things where we're fighting our own emotions and such and such? Yeah. All the hands would be raised. All the hands would be raised because we fight our emotions, fighting our emotions. Well, all right, everyone. It's been great hanging out with you all. Again, look at me. Find me in all the places. I'm in all the places at Educator2Trader. And I'd love to talk with you. You can reach out to me in my inbox if you got specific questions or whatever, and we can talk about how we can get you started, how we can get you going and get you profitable. If you're working and trading and not really profitable like you want to be, you know, there's probably a few tweaks you can make that can get you profitable. Send me a message. We'll talk about it. All righty. Let me see. I got a comment that just popped up. Miss Barbara said, I did. I did. All righty, you all. I will see you in our community. We do 2 things. We stay green and we get this money. All righty. I'll see y'all later. See you later. Send me a message. Send me an email. Send me a chat. Find me in all the places. All right. See y'all later. Bye, everyone.